So I want to be crystal clear on the claims that I placed for this exercise, which came about as an exhaustive observation, experimenting through um, Kundalini yoga. I mean, as a result of like months and months of terrible agony. And this exercise is meant to be for anyone dealing with any kind of back pain, especially sciatica or slip disc, which might be related as well. It might be a bulging disc, herniation, protrusion, sequestration, or even extrusion, and especially targeted towards L5S1, or L5S1 is the one that I have experience with. The other most common one is L4, L5, which will have very similar symptoms and at the same time will get excellent results just applying this exercise. This exercise also helps any pain-related issues you might have to do with your spinal cord. And if you happen to be struggling with pain because of other issues, if it is degenerative discs or spinal cord, this will suffice. If it is some other kind of pain, there's tons of resources on this channel that you can find out. They're mostly targeted for yogic exercises. There's lunges and other stuff as well. This exercise came about by doing lunges, planks, and pranayama, and mainly Kundalini yoga. So, disclaimer is, as usual, please take full responsibility for your health and well-being. And as I said, this is a combination. This is a kind of a breakthrough I've had. It's a combination of Kundalini yoga and lunges and just stretches in general. So we're going to target on the deltoids, your spinal cord, and of course your leg muscle, especially your thigh and hips. And the most important thing you want to make sure you get right is place your hands like this. You just put together your index fingers and you clasp the rest of your hands. And in Kundalini yoga, this is said to be used in the following way. Females would have the left finger on the left thumb on the index finger, and the right thumb on top of the left thumb. Males would have the right thumb on the left index finger and the left thumb on top of the right thumb. So even if you just mess it up, just the way you stretch your spine, the way I'm going to demonstrate now is going to be, it'll suffice. Preferably you do it the right way. So after getting this right, all you have to do is you come into this position where you lunge straight away like this. You place your toes slightly towards the left, this position, and you lunge, and then you bring down your arms like this, and then you inhale. At the same time, you're focusing on the deltoids. You're just pushing your arms towards the left side, and while you are pushing it, you are making a reverse crunch on your hips, tilting it slightly towards this side. So it is. So you do this 10 times, and then you swap over to the right side, and again your toes facing slightly towards the left, and then you lunge like this, and then you lift your hands. In Kundalini yoga, they call this posture, there's a name, in which all you have to do is your arms are meant to be hugging your ears like this. Again. Now the same thing, I want to show you how the lunge is done, the side view. if you're focusing on your hip and the sciatica, then you just have to, you hold it until here. If you have problems throughout your back, mainly towards your shoulders and your upper back, you fold in a little bit more like this. And then you do this, as I said, you do 10 sets of this. You would, after doing 10 sets on each side, you repeat the whole process 9 times. The most important thing I want you to take away from this video is that, please, for God's sake, do not dismiss this for the simplicity of it. The results I've got are nothing short of just astounding, I would say. And if you think maybe it's too late for you, maybe you're elderly and so on and so forth, I've had a gentleman who's 76 years old. He lost his wife to COVID, and then he was depressed, and it caused him, like the anxiety, started to overeat. He got metabolic syndrome, really overweight, and he was put into a wheelchair, and then finally when he was like discharged, he just had to walk, not even a cane, he had to use a structure to be able to walk. He couldn't get around the block, he couldn't leave his home. And then he started doing this. Obviously at first he couldn't have, many of you might have, if you have breathing difficulty while you're doing it, the whole process is to combine, that's how you invoke the Kundalini energy from the base of your spine to the top of your top chakra. But you don't have to know this. All you have to do is, as I said, inhale. While you're inhaling, you just tilt it, you focus on your deltoid, and then you are tilting towards one side, and then as soon as it is done, you don't have to hold in the breath. If you held it in, it will be much more powerful. But you just inhale, and then if you can't hold it, you just exhale, you come back to the normal pose. So this man, I had to just stay with him and get him, because of COVID, his lung capacity was extremely restricted. So I had to make him do like at least 3 sets, which was a huge, well, he also had to like work on his hips, work on the leg muscles. And there is 2 exercises I'm going to recommend for you, especially if you're elderly, if you've been impeded because of a lesion, whatever it might be. I remember playing football, I hurt myself, and it was a bit harder to get to this lunge position. So one of the most powerful ways you can get around to do this is you just sit on a chair, you place a ball, and then you try to press it, hold it for 5 seconds and let it go. You do this again and again, like 20 repetitions 3 times a day. If you can start with little, that will still work, and as long as you're able to build up to it. And then besides that exercise, you get a couple of these elastic pads, and then elastic bands, and then you just pull out as much as you can for 5 seconds, and then again 20 repetitions 3 times a day. And if you are especially like really elderly and you are like you think there's no hopes, I would say before you can do these couple of exercises, I would recommend just finding a chair, a comfortable chair, and instead of squatting, you just sit down and get up. Do this. If you can do it just once, then the next day try to do it twice. And if you can't, just keep doing once early, maybe in the morning, once in the evening, and so on. How much? If you can, maybe if you do 5 per day, and then the next day try to, or in a few days try to get to 10 and so on. After that, you'll have some more energy and strength in your legs, and then you'll be able to do the exercise I'm saying. And obviously, you're going to build up doing both the elastic band and the ball, and then finally get to this exercise. If you are a younger person, if you are especially like a teenager, I would say rather than getting too much obsession on this protein intake, especially animal protein, I wouldn't encourage. I would say anyone who does bench press or deadlifts, the exercise that I just proved, it has to be there in your arsenal just in case you get injured, which most people are bound to. And as soon as you get results, the only thing I would request is for you to post so that more people are able to benefit from this. And as I said, before I got to work this out, I myself was in a waiting list for a surgery, and then it led me to like spending over 7.5 grand on a physiotherapist, and then let alone the painkillers, the ointments, the massage creams, loads of stuff. If I'd only worked this out before, I wouldn't have needed. And as I said, it has to be in your back pocket just in case you get injured. But at the same time, as a preventive measure, this can be an excellent tool. And you would just use this. Let's say you've had back lesion or some kind of disc bulge or sequestration. One of those cases that they say it's impossible that it will get better. First of all, you have to be, it's a little bit discouraging when you're being prescribed for surgery, or you've been told that it won't work out. The statistics show over 90% of the disc bulges, they get healed by themselves. And besides that, the whole idea is to be able to bear the pain. And the exercise I showed you, it takes you barely about 5 minutes if you're not in a bad shape, if you don't have to build up and so on. You do it twice a day, and then once you come out of this herniation and whatever back problems you have, just for the sake of maintenance, I would suggest do this once every day before bed. And I promise you, this is going to blow your mind. And besides this, if you know anybody who's suffering from a bulge disc or back herniation or anything, please share it with them. And also, as soon as you get results, please comment below so that other people can be encouraged and they can get results as well. So, peace, much love, namaste.